Okay. Where do you want to go now?
I just okay, like just to break down the reasons for the Leafs' recent success. We kind of touched on it in some of the recap here, but okay, look, winning one goal games, winning tight games, that's just not a thing really. Not giving up much in the third is like, okay, Jack, I think, has been incremental here in a lot of this. Like their what do you think? Like the defense has played better, the team defense has been better, but
That's it.
obviously, but Jack is making the saves when they need the saves. That's really what's
Yes.
happening here,
Yeah.
right?
I was talking about this morning with some dads at the hockey arena, just about Freddie Anderson had a tendency to let in one soft goal. Usually, remember he had this streak going where he'd let in the first shot of the game
Oh, dude,
all the time.
right out of the gates, you're like dead in the water. Like you're letting the first shot.
I think when you watch the Amazon Prime thing, that's what Keith's talking about when he's like, we need it. We need a fucking save. We need one. And
Yeah.
Campbell has been giving these guys the confidence that there's going to be no soft goals. Like I've got you, I've got your back. If you push them to the outside and you play the game plan, I'm not going to give up soft goals. And he hasn't.
Hard as a rock.
Hard as a rock, and he's there to perform every night. So yeah, I think it starts with Campbell, but then on the flip side, they're playing better defense. But also, I was also talking about this with someone, and I want to get your opinion on this. They're older.
Yeah.
Like Matthews, Marner, Nylander. We got to stop looking at these guys as still the young guys on the block. They're not.
No, that's
They're
right.
not.
So it's about fucking time that they start learning. Like, is Keith's? So what is it? Is Keith's message getting through?
I think it's
just like they're getting
a little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything.
They're growing up. They're getting Keith's message. They're stronger. They're faster.
They're getting incredible fucking goaltending.
They're
like
getting
lights
good
out.
goaltending. It's a little bit of everything, but I think the whole core of it is they're growing. They're growing as a team. They're learning from past years.
It's growing.
How to play hockey.
It's growing. That's what she said.
Dad.
That's what she said. It's growing.
She doesn't always say that though.
No, but when it does grow, it's good, and that's like
sometimes she says. Sometimes she says, "Why isn't it growing?"
That's right, and you don't. That's not what you want.
No, and you don't want that. But this team growing.
So look, like just to go back over some of the, and I know we still got like 3 games left in November here before we hit December 1st. That's crazy. We're almost at December 1st, but they're going on a roadie here at West. But look, just to go back over some of their November wins quickly, like a 4-0 win over Vegas. Yeah, Vegas was banged up, but that was still an impressive win. That was
solid game.
That was Jack's first shutout of the month. But what's even more impressive is they beat Tampa Bay 2-1 in a close game.
Yep.
They followed that up with a 5-2 win against the Boston Bruins. They lose against the Kings. Then they follow that up with they go into Philly, not an easy environment to play there, and they beat the Flyers 3-0, Jack's second shutout of the month. They follow that up with a 2-1 overtime
which was another
win
incredible game.
The Philly game or the
Philly game.
Yeah, the Philly game. Great. And then
didn't give them anything.
You're right. And then they come back home. They beat the Flames 2-1 in overtime. Another 1-goal game. They beat the Sabres, a game that they probably should have lost, but they beat them by a goal, 5-4 win. And Nashville 3-0 win. And then the Rangers, another 2-1 win, another 1-goal game. So I guess what I'm trying to say or get at here is that these tight games where it's like these 1-goal games. Yeah, they beat Vegas 4-0. They beat Boston 5-2, whatever. They lost 5-1 to the Kings. Okay. But
they're not scoring themselves out of their problems.
Look, over this streak where they've been killing it, they beat Tampa Bay in a 1-goal game. They beat Calgary in a 1-goal game. They beat the Rangers in a 1-goal game. They beat the Sabres in a 1-goal game. Like they've been winning 1-goal games, shutting it down. Like that's just not really something that we're used to.
I'm pretty sure they're undefeated with a third period lead.
There you go.
Which, if anyone listening to this podcast remembers how many times we came on here and we're like, we just didn't feel comfortable with third goal leads. Last year, a little bit, but the years prior to that, do you remember? They'd have third periods. You'd be like, we don't know what's going to happen. This game could be going to overtime. They give up 3 goals. Not now.
No,
they're growing. They're growing up. They're growing up so fast.
You're right. So, and it's good. It's a good sign that is happening, and I love the fact that like whether it's Keith's message getting through, the way that Campbell's been playing, just the overall team buying in, whatever it is, it's probably all of the above. Like you said,
it's working,
but it seems to be like okay, from the fucking abysmal start that we like, Jesus, October to where we are now is like. Okay, so this looks like okay. Maybe these guys can do something. Maybe, well, yet to be seen. But it looks a hell of a lot.
Are you telling me? Are you telling me that they're getting your hopes up again?
Yeah. Oh, I'm all in. I'm all in now. Like I'm all in on this shit right now, right?
Because after last season, you were like, you're done. You're done. You don't believe in this team anymore. You have to wait all the way till April before you'll even give them a chance. Look, now here we are in November, and you're like, well, maybe.
Okay, and look, let's be honest here. Yeah, regular season, whatever. But okay, the way they're winning has been impressive. Like the 1-goal games, like that's just something that we are not used to seeing. Right, that's the way you're gonna need to win. You're gonna need to win a 2-1 game in the playoffs, right? Or a 1-0 game.
If a chick breaks your heart over and over and over again, but just keeps showing up with better and better lingerie, and you keep opening the door.
Hard not to go back to that.
It's hard not to go back to that. And that's what the Leafs are doing, man. They're knocking on the door. They're wearing skimpy lingerie, and they're like, hey, I just want to tell you things are different.
Look,
and you're like, well, okay.
Look, depending on what happens this season and going into the playoffs and next year, like we got Matthews for 2 more years, I think, after this under contract.
Maybe 2 mustache-less years.
I fucking hope not. But like, look, some of these guys, Marner's 3 years left. Like, we'll see what happens. Like, I think they will re-up, but I guess a lot of it will depend on the success they have in this season and the next couple of seasons. But I would like to do this podcast, and I'm just throwing this out there. We haven't talked about this like off air. I'm just throwing this out there. I would like to do this podcast until this team wins a Stanley Cup. And
okay,
when they win, if they do, and when they do, that will be it. We will end the show. The night that they win it, we probably won't do it. What
if it's this year?
That's it. Then we're done.
We're done. We go out on a high.
There's nowhere to go from there.
We're like Sting. He just walked away from the police when they were number 1 in the world. Dude.
Once we peak, if they win a Stanley Cup, okay, whether it's this year, next year, the year after, whatever it takes, if it takes a couple more years, fine.
What if we're like 70? Are we still going to be sitting here making dick jokes when we're 75 years old?
It's unlikely, but possible. We'll see where it goes. Okay, I think if these guys don't do it, I think it's going to be very unlikely that it's going to happen in our lifetime. That's just how I feel about it. We'll see. But like, yeah, anything could happen. Like, we'll see what happens. If any, like,
10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, when it was Phaneuf and Kessel and all them, you didn't think you'd ever see anything in your lifetime. And then Matthews and Marner and Nylander came around, and
like, this is our best shot. Like, I truly believe if they cannot find a way to win with these guys, it's very unlikely that they're going to ever fucking find a way to win. So I would like to do this fucking podcast until they win a Stanley Cup. And that will be it. Our final episode will be like probably a couple days after they win the cup, because I'm going to need a full probably week of recovery if they win a Stanley Cup, because it will be full fucking bender like never seen before. Hey everyone, Dale here. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. While you're here, why don't you take a look around at some of our other videos? And if you want to listen to the audio version of our podcast, we are available on all podcast platforms. You can check in the description below. And if you want to support the podcast, you can do so by going to our Patreon page, and you can find a link to that as well. The Tip In Maple Leafs Podcast.